Hello everyone, this is Sandeep Reddy. In this tutorial today we are going to be focusing on how we can migrate your AWS virtual machines to Azure using the Azure Migrate services. Azure Migrate provides a centralized hub to access and migrate your on-premises infrastructure and other cloud instances, applications and data to Azure. And it has a unified migration platform where you can start, run and track your instances migration status to Azure. This is a simple approach to migrate your instances to Azure. Microsoft has developed a proven approach to migration that reduces the risk and increases the chance of both successful proof of concept and a clear path to additional migration opportunities. While migrating applications and data to public cloud like Azure can seem risky, but Microsoft has been able to move much of the risk by identifying a three-step process. By discovering, migrating, and optimize. The tools like Azure Migrate allows you to collect a complete inventory of your infrastructure and identify those application workloads, database, and most appropriate for the proof of concept migration. Once the migration has been tested, the applications and the services can be further optimized on the Azure environment. After successful proof of concept, companies then have both the experience and confidence in moving the complicated applications. And here today I'm going to show you a live migration from AWS to Azure. And here I have two instances, one Windows and one Linux operating system, which I'm going to migrate to Azure. And I have created a Windows 2016 machine for Appliance server, which acts like a bridge between AWS to Azure. So here you can see I have one Appliance server. This acts like a bridge between AWS and Azure, and these two instances I'm going to migrate to Azure. Let's go back to the Azure portal and start creating Azure migration project. Now I'm in the Azure portal. Let's search for Azure Migrate service. In the overview section, you can notice there are a few key migration scenarios which helps you to get started. And at the same time, you can find curated scenarios for migrating your servers, databases, VDIs, web apps, and data box for migrating a large volume of data to Azure. Let's start creating it. If you want to migrate your Windows and Linux servers, so we need to create this assessment project. So let me click on Assess Migrate Servers. For this, we need to create a project. Let me click on Create Project. And here we are supposed to create a resource group where our missions will be created. I'm going to create a new resource group for this. I'm naming it as Migration Project. This is my resource group. And we need to give some name for the project. So I'm going to name it as AWS Migration. This is my project name. And we need to choose a geographical location. I want to keep my virtual machines in Asia Pacific location. So I'm choosing Asia Pacific. And click on Create. It'll take seconds of time to create this project. So I think it's created. Now you can see server assessment and server migration tools are added to my project. Using the server migration tool, let's start discovery process. So this is where you can discover your servers. So the first thing is you need to select your virtualization type. So I'm using my AWS instances, so I'm using the last option as the physical machines or any public clouds like AWS or GCP. So I'm using this option. And here you're supposed to select your target region where you're supposed to install your machines in Azure. I'm choosing my location, Southeast Asia. Then just click on confirm. So once you're chosen this region, we cannot change it later. So make sure that you are choosing the correct region and just click on create. And it is in process. It may take some time. And once you're done with that, we need to download the assessment and migration tool, which we need to install on your Appliance server. And then you can start discovering the things from AWS to Azure. Successfully it got deployed. Now let's choose Appliance type. Here we have two types of appliance. The first one is install a replication appliance and install a scale out appliance. This is the first time we are using the migration project. So we are supposed to choose the first option, install a replication appliance. And here we have two softwares which are supposed to download. The first one is like Appliance software and the second one is registration key. So these two will help us in installing the appliance in our AWS instance. So let's download this Appliance software and registration key. And at the same time, let me download this registration key. So I'll copy these two softwares into my Appliance server and let us install it there. I have copied these two files in my Appliance server. Let's log into my machine. This is my Appliance server. So this is the software. This software size is around 2 GB of size. So let me install it. So this is the installation thing. Let us select the first option. This is the installation and configuration of process server. Next, agree the license agreement. So here we are supposed to select the key which we have downloaded. This is the one. So this is a key. Okay, we won't install it without proxy, so I'm going with the first option. So now it is going to check the prerequisites, whether it's matching for the migration. So I think it got passed, so we can go with next. The only thing is I don't have static IP address and free space, so that should be fine. So for this we need to install a MySQL database. So let us give the password for this. So yeah, then next. So you want to protect this machine from VMware? No, nothing. Yeah, in this location this software is going to install. Okay, fine. So we need to select your network interface. This is my network interface, and make sure that this port is open. Install. Yeah, it may take some time. It looks like now the installation is completed. Let's click on finish. So it's asking us to save this password. So let's save this password somewhere else. Okay, now here we are supposed to add a user accounts here for our servers. I'm giving it as admin. The username is /. Administrator. Coming to passphrase. This is my one of the target server password. So it's entered successfully. And if you have any other user accounts, you can add it here. So let me select my wallet key here. So desktop. So this is my wallet key which I have downloaded from Azure portal, and I want to go without proxy. Just click on register, and it takes some time to get it register. Yeah, now successfully it is registered. Okay, and now we need to reboot this machine. Before to that, let me show you the source files that which we need to install it on our targeted missions. So let's go to the C drive and that program data, ASR, home, systems, public installer SAV, and the repositories. So here you can see all of them, all the softwares, you can see it here. So based on this, you need to install on your machine. Suppose if you have OEL 6 or OEL 8, Red Hat 6, 7, 8 or SUSE 11, 12, 15. So based on the operating system, you need to copy this on your targeted machine. We need to install it. So let me install for Windows machine. So this is for Windows. Before that, already I've copied this to my source machine. So let me install it from my source machine. So before that, let me reboot this. So this is my Appliance server. Let me reboot it. Yeah. In the meanwhile, we'll configure the targeted machine. So this is my targeted machine. Already I've copied that file into this machine, and let me install it. You can see this is my targeted machine. So here we need to go with the install mobility services. Next. Yeah, this is the location. So yeah, it's installing. Yeah, installation is completed. Let's go with proceed. So here we are supposed to give the IP address of our Appliance server. Here I've given my Appliance server IP address and password and the port number. Now it got registered. Now let's go back to the Azure portal and see whether it's reflecting in the portal. So we need to refresh this browser so that here we can see the new Appliance server details. Just come back and just click on discover. choose this. So now you can see now this option is grayed out. Now you can see here, just click on finalize registration. That's it. Now successfully it got registered. So let's go back and see whether our servers are reflecting in Azure portal. So now you can see one mission is registered, the Windows mission which were connected to this. So let's click on this because you can come to know which mission. Yeah, you can see this Windows mission came here. Get this mission. So in server migration we have option called replicate. Let's click on this option. So here we have an option to select your virtualization. So I'm going with AWS. Select your replication server and your process server and as well as credentials. Let's click on next. Okay, if you have a number of missions, so we can choose it, but as of now I have only one mission, so I'm choosing this mission, this instance. Next. So here we can choose a resource group where you want to keep all these missions. So I'm going with my migration project resource group. And then next you can choose your virtual network. I want to keep these missions in production virtual network, and by default it's choosing the default subnet. And I don't want any availability zone, so I'm going with no infrastructure redundancy. And if you have any a Windows Server license, you can go with yes, but as of now I don't have any licenses, I'm going with no option. So here we have an option to choose your virtual machine size. Since my mission is 1 core 1 GB of RAM, so I'm going with standard B1, but you have option to choose different VM series models, but I'm going with 1 GB and 1 core. Okay, next. So here we have an option to choose your disk type, like we can go with premium SSD or standard SSD. So I'm going with normal disk standard SSD option. So just click on replicate, that's it. It will take a couple of minutes to replicate this mission. Now the replication is completed. Let's refresh the screen and we'll see. Yeah, now we can see one mission in replication. So now we can migrate this mission and the status of this resource is healthy. So we can click here for migrating the mission. Let's migrate the replicated server. So here we have an option to migrate the resources, and at the same time in the overview section we have two different options, like we can do the test migration or we can do the real migration. That's up to you, but as of now I want to go with the real migration. So by clicking on this option we can migrate this resource. Here we have an option to shut down your machine before the migration, and if you want to shut down the machine you will have a minimal data loss. And if you don't want to shut down the machine, select the no option. In that case, final sync will be performed before migration, but any changes that happen on the machine after the final sync is started will not be replicated. I want to go with the no option for now. Select your machine, click on migrate. Yeah, that's it. It takes a couple of minutes to migrate this instance. So now it's completed. Let's go and see. So this is my research group, migration project 1. So here you can see your virtual machine is created here with the same name. And if you don't get the public IP address, so we can request for the public IP and you can try to access that machine. I'm assigning public IP to this machine. Okay. So let's save it. Yeah, now it's added. So now you can see we got the public IP address for this mission, and let's try to access this mission. Now you can see this here. We can access this mission from the Azure instances. Let me show you how to migrate a Linux operating system to Azure. So here you can notice I have Red Hat 8 operating system. So I'm going to use this VM for migrating to Azure. And before to that, in order to migrate Linux machines from AWS to Azure, so we need to enable the root account. So while discovery process, we need a root account for accessing it in Azure. And these are the commands which we need to implement on our Linux machine. So let me log into my Linux machine. So already I'm in the Linux machine. So let me go back to the tab. So already I've copied the software into my Linux machine. So if you want to get the software, you can go to your Appliance server, go to the C drive, program data, ASR, home, repositories. So here you find all the softwares related to your operating systems. So we have a software for Debian, OEL, RHEL 6, 7, 8, SUSE, Ubuntu, and Windows. So already I've copied this software to my Linux machine. So this is a software, and before that, let me enable the root account and the SSH password. I've logged into my root account. So here I can notice we need to make it on, permit root login, yes, and at the same time password authentication we need to make it yes. Yeah, this one. Password authentication is yes, yeah, and save it. Restart your services. Okay, and then I'm going to add my password for root. Password. So I've given the password, and we need to do few changes in your appliance server. We need to add these credentials in the appliance server. It is my appliance. So in appliance server you will have a file. By default it gets created on your desktop that names with csp config. Just double click on this. So here we have options to add your user accounts. I'm naming it as a root /root and the password. That's it. Yeah, your credentials are added here. Let's close it. So let's go back to your Linux machine. Already I've copied the software into my Linux machine. Let's install this. So here, this is the document. So here we have all the details. So let's install it. So we'll take a couple of minutes. And the next step is to register this machine with your appliance server. So here, this is a command, and we need to give your appliance server and the IP address. So IP address and the password. So this password will get while you're configuring the appliance server. Yeah, it looks like it's completed. So next, here we need to give your Appliance server IP address. And we need to give the password. This is the password. You will get it while configuring your appliance server. So that's it. Once we're done with this, you're able to see this machine in the Azure portal, but it takes some time. As of now, we have 2 discovered missions, and now we need to get the third one here. Let me refresh it once again. So now we got the third mission here. Let's replicate and migrate this mission to Azure. So let me cross check which is the one. 204, yeah. So this is the one which is now added to the Azure migration project. So let's replicate this mission. Click on replicate. So here we are supposed to choose a password which we have created in the Appliance server. I'm choosing this for Linux is with root. .204, this is the one. Yeah. So where is my project? Yeah, migration project 1 and production virtual network. Yeah, default. No license. Next. So we can choose a VM size. So I'm going with the standard B1. Next. So we can give you a virtual machine name. I'm going to name it as Red Hat 8 server. So I'm going with standard disk. Replicate. Yeah, it looks like replication is completed. So let's refresh the screen. Yeah, now we can see the one replicated server here. So let's migrate this machine. So click on migrate. So I want to go with no option. Select your mission, just go to migrate. That's it. So we'll take a couple of minutes to create this mission. Yeah, let's refresh the screen. So now we need to get 2 missions under migrated. So now you can see we got 2 missions migrated and 0 replicated servers, and total 3 missions got discovered from AWS to Azure. And now let's come back to our resource group. Sorry. Yeah, this is our project, research group project. Yeah, this is a mission which is created, and we're not getting the public IP address. In order to access this, let me give the public IP address for this machine. Okay, save. Yeah, it looks like it's completed. So let's go back to our mission. Now you can see we got the IP address. So let's try to access this mission. So we can use server. So we're on the mission, so let's come back. So let's SSH to this mission. Paste it here. Yes. Yeah, I can see we have logged into this mission. So something around 172.18.5. So you can see the IP address, private IP address 172.18.0.5 and 172.18.0.5. So this is how you can migrate your Windows and Linux machines to Azure.